Good morning. We're here with the Year Now videocast, and we're at the Foundry. Thanks very much to Kieran Nambia. He lent us this awesome space to have a chat with my good friend Matheus. And Matheus is a young, aspiring, kind-hearted philanthropist wanting to change the world, young man. And that's me being modest. So I'd like to hand over to Matheus to give us a small introduction.
Well, first of all, thank you a lot, Lindsay, for having invited me. It's an honor to meet you again, but this time in another environment. So a little bit about myself. My name is Matheus. I am 25 years old now. I live here in Luxembourg City. I was born in Luxembourg City. Fortunately, my background story a bit about where I grew up. Well, in a small country field in Eschanach, if you know it.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's in that area where I grew up. But my whole family comes from Peru.
Okay.
So they came with the Peruvian educational side here to Luxembourg.
Oh, wow. When was that?
Well, 1990, I think, something around this. So
Okay.
my mom was already 5 years here settled.
Okay.
And then settled down, and then I was born.
Okay.
So she was the reason. My mom is, for me personally, my big inspiration, because she is the reason why we are here. She came with nothing to Luxembourg, without even finished school, anything, and she managed to bring the whole family. She left 2 children, my brother and sister in Peru, and my father. And with the time, she managed to get a job. And
what made her come to Luxembourg of all the countries in Europe and South America? Or why here?
Well, my aunt was the first one. She met a tourist in Peru, Luxembourgish guy, phone call saying, hey, Luxembourg is a better country than Peru, like more opportunities, possibilities. Why don't you give it a try?
Great.
And she was the reason to give my mom the first job, which was as a cleaning lady, and then
Wow. That's an inspiring story though, isn't it? Can only look up to her for making such a bold move.
Yeah, this is...
For women, especially in those days, to do something so brave. I mean, you come to Luxembourg. It's already difficult to get by without Luxembourgish and French now, and I guess she didn't speak French. It's a Spanish colony.
Anything,
Peru, right?
just Spanish. Yeah.
What strength that takes.
Well, imagine you go, you leave your children and your wife, and you go then to another continent, and you don't know anything, and you just give it a try and work hard to send money to your family.
Incredible.
It's just another perspective that it's really, really, really impressive for myself. I find it really impressive. So yeah,
it is. It really is. Wow. And so you grew up in Eschanach. Your mom settled in Eschanach, and that's home for you.
Yeah, this was technically my home. I mean, I went there to school. I finished my school in Luxembourg City. Now I moved to Luxembourg City. So now I live here really close by this location, actually.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. And how was it growing up? I mean, it's changed a lot now. I first came in 2010. But you're saying you're born...
1995.
1995, oh yeah, baby.
A little bit.
So 1995, was it different? Was it easy to integrate being a foreigner? You wouldn't be a foreigner. Was it difficult for your mom, sister and brother? Because you would know the system because that's all you're born into. Did you see any challenges?
That's a really interesting question. Well, obviously I don't have the average skin color of the people in Luxembourg.
Yeah.
And this made a difference. I mean, I experienced it a little bit in a good way and also in a bad way by growing up here, because of course I grew up, I spoke Luxembourgish right away. I went to the primary school. Luckily, I can say that people that I was in class with and my teachers always accepted me as, and they let me feel like I was one of them.
Great.
So this was for me, I felt really Luxembourgish, and my friends, there was never a doubt that I was not part of this.
Great.
When everything started, more that I was realizing that actually I'm not, let's say, Luxembourgish.
What do you mean when everything started? What was that?
I mean, not everything, sorry, it's maybe not the correct word, but when I realized that I also have other origins and that I also come from other roots, was when I was starting to get in 6th grade and 7th grade when I went to lycée.
Yes.
Because then it's where people also start. Right? High school. Okay. That's when people start also to I mean the other people more to think out of the box a bit, being more free, and then they start like, oh yeah, you are here and there.
Is that more free or more closed?
What do you mean by this exactly?
I'm just curious about when you say when we go to the lycée, the high school.
Yes.
That mindset of is it almost, is it a free mind or is it a more narrow mindset when you start seeing people for their color, their nationality, their language?
Yes.
Is it how? Just curious.
I believe in general, if this is an answer to your question, I believe in general that people in Luxembourg are a bit more close. If I would now compare them with Peruvian, South American people, just to understand better, you have different cultures here. Yeah. Like the way of the attitude is just an average and total different thing than if you go to South America. South America, everyone is your mother and your uncle on the streets, and they take you in arms. Here, it's totally something else. And so I would say rather more close if I compare now with my South American side. But when it came up to speak and talk bad about people, then they suddenly weren't that close-minded.
So that's what you were talking about. When you got to high school, you started discovering more that people say what they feel.
Yes. I don't want to say now that I was now bullied or something.
Yeah, sure.
But it's more...
You feel that you're different.
I felt it,
different.
And I felt it. I got the sense of feeling, definitely. And but still, now things changed. Now it's different. Now everyone in my circle is more. How do you say this? It's more adult. It's more mature. So this kind of conversation doesn't come up at all anymore. I haven't heard it for years. And if I have now such a, let's say, solid mindset that it doesn't affect me. No, it doesn't bother me because I understand. I try to understand someone else. If someone says something like this, and I accept it how it is, and I can't change it. And that's it.
And I know you, okay? We've spoken a few times. We've got a small history, but this mindset you have to even say that if somebody says something judgmental, it's usually a judgment, right? Derogatory, whatever it might be. To have the perspective of and the awareness and the maturity to say, what's making him say that? What do you feel was the source behind? You're 24 years old, right?
25. Yeah.
Okay, my maths is not good. How can you, with that experience, not that it was bad, we agree, but to still choose to be compassionate and liberated in your thinking that this person's mindset is about them, so how do I understand them and not take this personal, and then also like, okay, I don't need to carry it home and become what they want me to be because they want me to be angry or also resentful, but to have that mindset, what do you feel is behind that?
Got it. Well, there's one big event. I think it's the major event that happened in my life. There are two major events actually. One is that my father passed away when I was 9 years old.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
This is, this is how it is, and that's destiny. And from the other side, I think it's something, let's say, great that happened. It had some great effects also afterwards. It's not something that great happened, but it had really great effect afterwards also. That I think wouldn't have happened if this didn't happen, because he was of course the male in the family. He was the alpha. He was really like South American character. You didn't do it, then you saw it sometimes. Okay. So everyone was afraid, and it was also the reason why when someone judged me, and still today, it's one of my little weaknesses. If someone that I look up to, that I respect, judges me, judges my work, criticize me, this hurts me a lot. This hurts me a lot. I try to understand, I try to fix it somehow, and luckily I met someone that is that let me reflect on this and told me, hey, this is not you, this is because you think it is that way. And through that, actually, I started, through things like this, I started to realize more and more about myself. I learned a lot about myself. I tried to understand my mother, my siblings. And through that, I went more into personal development, and I just realized that, hey, you are you. It's not about the other ones. If something happens, you know what your values, you know what you are. If someone else thinks something different, it might be because they experienced something different. So don't take it personal. because you know what you're standing for. And with that mindset, I think in general, like just to break it down in a few words, I think that first of all, nothing is impossible for yourself. Second, you're untouchable. You decide if you want someone to hurt you or not.
Wow.
So this is something that I believe everyone has in himself. He just needs to understand it.
Wow.
So yeah.
25 years old and speaking like a guru. What's the future holding for this young man? I saw it first. Remember, I told you there's great things coming, right? So just
you said it, but
can I copyright that? So when you are a successful guru, I get some rights to some privileges.
I was the one taking notes from you before, so yeah. Here, I have the notes.
But you're 25 years old, I'm 41. Come on.
You're never 41.
I'm 41, yeah. Thank you.
How can you? Well, okay, I don't have to say it. Everyone knows it. So.
It's the African pills. We take the herbs. We come from.
Okay, perfect.
But that's admirable. I know I say this to you often enough because it's true, and I think there's power in acknowledgement. I've said this already, and I if I see it and I feel it, I have to say it, and I just need you to embed that belief because there's more people need that, and I think you know that. So and this stuff that we're doing like this, it's to bring that awareness because there'll be someone resonating, another 25-year-old, struggling with that. What in my work it's called an adverse child experience. I told you.
Yes.
Where the parents put these things on us. And we don't understand because we're kids, right? We don't understand how to regulate our emotions, how to intellectualize. This is an adult, I'm a child, so this is what he's doing. So we adapt these things and they become our personality. And if we don't challenge that mindset with awareness, like we said earlier, we end up believing that that's who we have to be.
Yeah.
That someone's judgment determines who we'll become.
Which is
not true, right?
Which is unfortunately something that happens too often, and people really build their life based on other people's judgments, and this is
disempowering, isn't it?
Yeah, and the sad truth is that this is not the truth. This is not.
It's someone else's opinion, someone else's pain, someone else's joy. It's someone else's whole existence, but that's theirs, right? It's nothing to do with you.
It's so true.
You can use it to inspire you, and you can use it to degrade you, but that's the choice you have, right?
But you know what the great thing is? Every single day you can decide to aim for something new. Today you can say, okay, well, learn to accept what you did, and it happened. It's okay. You should. How do you say this in English? You should accept it and be okay with it. What happened, what you did, the mistakes, the bad things, the things you didn't do on purpose that you never wanted to do, that you would now never do again.
Yeah.
Accept it. Now move on forward, doing something new. So that's a beautiful thing in life. That's
one of your values, one of your things you believe in.
100%.
Good.
I mean, this makes sense. I mean,
it makes sense to you because you're in a special place. I tell you this with all honesty. I don't meet many 25-year-olds who are so enlightened and so liberated in their own freedom. It's not about the world. This is about you and who you are as a person.
Exactly. And I think there's nothing different than me and someone else. I have 2 legs, 2 arms. I can speak. Someone else can also speak. They have a mind. If they can think about what they do afterwards tonight, then I can also think of what can I change tonight to make my life different. Because small habits will have big effects.
Absolutely.
But this is a total other conversation.
Yes, yeah.
But there are many ways. Not only one way. There are many ways on how to change, how to have a better tomorrow than yesterday. So 100%.
And that's why I was hunting you down for this, because I wanted you to say your views that I know. Because, like I said, there's a young generation that I feel we need to bring this awareness to. The more people like you that talk about it's possible to heal, it's possible to grow, it's possible to let go of other people's judgments, this will heal the generations that are coming.
I would like to add something on this.
Sure.
I wasn't like this always. I mean, there was a certain point where it cracked, and I changed.
What is that point?
I changed drastically with everything.
What is that point?
I mean, it is.
We all have that. But what for you? What was that?
Yeah, and it's true. We all have that, because it only takes a situation, a word, a person to change your whole life.
Absolutely.
Change your whole, like, it just is one crack. For me, it was when I was 18. while I was part of an organization that was selling nutrition products in here and there, it went pretty well. But it wasn't the products that changed me, it was the people I was surrounded with. For the first time in my life, I met people that had endless dreams. And this was something for me, totally new conversation. So I never met people that said, I will live there, I will retire my parents, I will retire in 5 years. And this was for me mathematical impossible.
Yeah.
Because for me it was always, okay, there is one system, you have to follow the system. And if you want to be rich, let's say rich in many terms, not just in money-wise, but in wealth, but also with time, health, and everything, you have to have a lot of money, a lot of freedom, but it's just like the formula was nearly impossible to do because nobody was actually having it.
Yes.
Nobody in my surrounding at that time.
Yeah.
But then they told me, hey, same thing that I just actually said, you can change that. And I said, how? And I said, you can change it. What are you doing? How did your 7 last days look? What did you do which will make your future bigger? I said, wow, that's a good question. I said, that's a freaking good question. I said, I don't know. Except doing this business to get some bit more money, nothing. And he said, what did you do for your health? What did you do for your wealth? What did you do for your love, for your happiness? And he put me really in question. And for the first time in my life, I thought about other things that were important besides 18, partying, drinking.
Yes.
I wasn't good in school, anything. So he let me reflect. And then he told me, read this book. For me, it was the book Rich Dad Poor Dad that gave me.
What's the book called?
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad. Okay.
Yeah, by Robert Kiyosaki.
Okay.
The whole story is based on the poor dad. Is his blood dad, like his original dad.
Yes.
That is a teacher in a school and lives the life, but always lives paycheck for paycheck.
Okay.
And the rich dad is the dad of a father or dad of a friend.
Yes.
And this dad, well, he is obviously rich in like he has a lot of wealth, and he explains how he built this up. And this was for me that broke the system in my head in terms of there are other ways than just going to school and here and there, you know.
Yes.
And based on this, then he told you also to have more value in life, you have to be more valuable.
Absolutely.
What can you do to be more valuable?
Yeah.
Learn new languages, have new habits.
Yes.
What are your bad habits? It's not always about just learning new habits, it's also about unlearning bad habits.
Absolutely.
So you have and I was confronted with all those conversations, but it was that one person. And that's why I really, really admire and why I really want to come here. Because I want to tell you guys that this man is one of those that can change lives. Because you are really good in letting reflect someone else about something what happened. And those are for me heroes. Because I am aiming for my big vision is to do it in the same way. Not like this how you do it.
Yes.
But the goal is the same. I want to inspire people, billions, and want to make sure that everyone can not only live in the box, but see in what box they are and make the best out of it, because everyone has so much potential in their own ways. So there are many things to do, and I think you're really happy if you just realize you are in a day, and I mean I'm working, but I'm not working. Because for me it feels like every day I stand up, I smile, I say, new day, new opportunity, let's go. And there's so many things to see, and it's just a thing of perspective. And I believe it really takes someone. Sometimes it's a conversation that can change your life, can at least give you a hint that there's something else.
One word. You can come down to a single word that can just put that switch on the triggers, that point where it's, you know, and I got it in me, I can do something different. I don't have to be a product of my environment. I can change everything, right?
It's everything here. It's everything here. So this is why I'm a hard believer. It happened to me early with 18. And now 6 years, 7 years later, I never stopped with this. And suddenly my circle of friends changed, my environment changed, the way of I was talking changed, everything changed. And of course, in a way, I was always having in mind, and still I know I'm going the next 5 years, 7 years,
Yeah.
10 years, and this goal by inspiring people, which is only one of them, will happen. I know how exactly, but I know that to get to this point, I need now to prepare really good for this.
Yes.
So that's what I'm doing.
And you spoke about something I believe in too, about, for me, the way I see it and in my teachings and what I'm learning is vibration.
Yes.
When you spoke about when your mindset changed, your friends changed, the way you spoke changed, that was you raising your vibration, becoming a better version of yourself, and somehow you attract the same level of growth, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, I can give you an easy. I explain myself like this. So if you only go to the gym, let's say only to the gym, of course you're gonna meet people from the gym.
Yeah.
If you only read books, somehow you will one day meet people that also read books. Because the conversation is, you read also books.
Yeah.
Let me introduce you to John. And it goes like this. So if you start to work on yourself and developing, wanting to be more, it's going to happen. You're gonna meet people that also want to be more, and believe me, those people are gonna enrich your every single day more and more and more, because there's nothing more beautiful than someone giving you the energy back that actually you're looking for it. You think, is it there? Is it not?
Yeah.
It was the beginning. Now I know it is there, and there are many people.
Yeah.
And this is also how we met, actually.
Yeah.
Because if it wouldn't be like this, I'm not sure if we would have met.
Yes.
So yeah.
Our good friend Julian.
Yeah.
Bricks. You'll be watching this, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So this, what's the vision? You don't have to go into details, but how are you taking this passion every day, and maybe a little bit of the passion when you wake up smiling because you're working but not working, which is, I think, everybody aspires to some extent. We all want to earn, we all want to be happy. I don't want to say earn money, because money is not the driving factor. We want to be happy. And how do you be happy? What are you doing for that, and how are you taking that forward to reach that nice goal that I would love to share with you, and if you need support, I'd love to, because I believe in it.
Same. So there are many factors. One, the most important for me is that I'm doing something that I really love. Because personally, just to say a bit of my background, I work in real estate, but not as an agent, also not as a constructor. But it's in sort of a new concept in Luxembourg, where we manage properties for other property owners, and we rent them out like traditional way, but not traditional. We do it in short-term and medium-term rentals. Why? Because there's so much more potential in short-term rentals. There's so many people from the outside coming to Luxembourg and looking for a property just short-term, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 1 week. You have also people within Luxembourg that sometimes look for property. So based on all those facts, we set up this company, and it's going really well because the return that we get is way higher because we charge more. And we help from the other side people find a property without being scammed, 100% transparent. So it's, for me, it's a win-win-win situation for everyone, because everyone is happy afterwards. And the more I help people, the more we grow. And the more we can bring this concept to other countries, and even be bigger and help more people. So I found a way how I can actually be in my passion. So working with people. That's the one thing. Because I believe, I can tell you now, during this weird crisis, Corona, we had many empty apartments because all the tourists that were supposed to come, and also all the people from the outside, didn't come. Luxembourg, the whole world closed down. I changed the market research, and we went from international to national. And now listen to this. It's for me, I was so happy, and I actually got a letter from the government because of this. So we had suddenly phone calls from people crying. Some of them were emotional, some of them were exciting. From the exciting ones were that people said, like, I'm looking for 3-4 months apartment. For us it was good because we were empty, and for them it was good because they had no other choice to find, because all the agencies don't offer short-term rental. that was exciting. But the emotional side is where when people called and said, "Hey, I was victim of a scam. I cannot go to another place. My rental contract is finished. I cannot move to my other place because the COVID is not allowing me to go somewhere else. Can you help me? I'm in a divorce. I'm at home in a violence. Can you help me?" And I said, "Of course." And often under the price, of course, because for me it gives me, there's nothing else which is more ritual for me as a thank you. As when I know I helped someone, I'm done. I'm happy. I'm like, great, let's continue, because I know that person will help maybe someone else too, and this is an effect. And to not drift too far now off, to get back to your question.
Say what you need to say. There's a reason for it. Follow it.
Okay.
Follow your heart. If your heart is taking you there, there's something to go. We don't have to stay structured.
Perfect.
This is about you. So if you want to go into your purpose, go.
Okay.
That's where we need to go.
So the vehicle, what I'm currently working on, I know that there's so much potential inside, not just to build a great network, because they always say your network is your net worth. A great network. I can also financial wise build something really strong. I can create influence by just being a person that is managing multiple homes and working with multiple people together. Super important. And through those three things, I can go to my big vision. My big vision is this here. There's a big problem in this world. How is it possible that if you want water, we just turn all the sinks on and there comes the pipes and they go everywhere comes water without a problem. We waste it no matter how, okay? But you have countries where they cannot do this. They wish, they cannot even imagine. Same with electricity. The heat, the cold, everything. So there's, from primary source, there's a huge problem. There's not an equivalent. There's not a balance in this world.
Yes.
And I want to build school education, all kind of things. Yes, and I'm gonna do it. But this is just gonna solve maybe one area. I really, and I want to shape this world in a way that we will have equal resources everywhere. And for this, I cannot do it by myself. You cannot build a land by yourself. You need a team. You need people. That's why influence. You need probably also money. You need a network. And that's why I know that what I'm doing is not just helping now, but for the big run, it's going to help me to find the right people along the way, and then see, okay, you want to share this vision with me? Let's do this together. Let's do this together. So this is what I'm gonna, like, this is my big vision, like the big vision where I'm gonna work. And besides that, inspire people to be more tomorrow than you were yesterday, and grow as far as you want to.
That's awesome.
So that's like that's why everyone who wants to be more, I would love to suggest to you what I have read, what I have seen, what helped me personally. It's just a few links, a few names I can share with you. From that point on,
all your details will be on, so people can contact. Please get in touch, ask questions, reach out.
Really, I'm not the kind of person who says, "Oh, I'm busy, I have no time." No, without money, I'm not. Fuck this, really. Like, if I can help, I want to. There's always time. Just need to figure out when, and then lovely. I want to give everyone a hand where I can. Really.
What's the goal? What's the time for this? Do you have a time scale when you feel you want to start going onto this growing trees rather than just watering them, planting them? Do you have a frame, or just taking it as it comes?
Well, it's something of both. I know that this company that I'm building, because if I would just work, let's say in a regular job as my parents or people that I know from the family, I know that this goal is more difficult to achieve. It's probably possible, but it's more difficult because now I can build a way where I can also have multiple other benefits, and it's for me just a great path. I find myself here, and here I want to I want to grow this in a way where that people can also be a part with without now being I don't know how to say this in English actually. This you cut.
Okay.
I don't know what to say in English actually.
So you want people to be part of this vision, but freely, without constraints, without...
Yes, and I think if I'm gonna meet the right people in life, it's gonna come, and it's gonna happen. I know it. I'm not waiting for the people, but I know that there are gonna people that gonna say, I want to do this with you, and then I know I will have the feeling, now it's the moment.
I want to ask you something.
Yes.
What do you feel is the key to meeting those people? I think you said something about it earlier.
Wow, that's is there a correct answer to this question?
I feel there is, but I don't know if it will resonate with you. But I mean, by just
you
can't just meet them, right?
By just you cannot just meet them. You probably have to track them in a way of that the person that you become. So the more you go in the direction, the bigger chances you're gonna attract them. That you're gonna see them. That people are gonna hear this, gonna hear your story, gonna hear your vision, and gonna say, hey, maybe I cannot help you now. But believe me, when you do it, I'm your man. I'm your girl. We're gonna do this together. And of course.
So what's the key?
The key.
You said it.
If you want to do it, then be that person.
Awesome.
Go to be.
You're amazing, honestly.
So you should be that person. Don't wait for something. Don't say if then I would.
Yes. Yeah.
Then
I can't because I don't. I don't have, so I can't. And the power in that is, and I'm also discovering my own journey. The sooner the more you become your authentic, powerful self and live towards your purpose.
Yes.
It's like that vibration raising. You become more strong in yourself, and you attract those people.
Yeah.
Those opportunities.
100%. And this can be in every. I mean, it doesn't have to be just in that what I'm doing. This can be in everything.
Whatever your purpose is in life.
Whatever your purpose is.
Whatever you want to follow.
Exactly.
And something I also to add, I don't know how you feel about this. It's one of my meditations. It's for the greater good. It's one thing when you just want to be rich at any cost. It's a purpose, right? But when you want to make the world rich.
Yes.
And the byproduct is you benefit too. It's stronger, no? Or how do you feel?
You mean if you can grow at the same time with,
or when you have a purpose that benefits the people.
Yeah.
As opposed to having a purpose that I want to own a Ferrari. So no matter what I do, I'm making sure I know friends who have Ferraris and make sure I push hard.
Probably you will also get a Ferrari.
You will.
They're gonna tell you how to get one.
Okay, but you can, right? Yeah. But it's not as powerful as I want to plant trees.
Yeah.
Because those trees will benefit generations, right?
100%.
You get to enjoy it as well, but it's gonna be a legacy that you leave behind.
I think it's all about the purpose that you have in your side. Not everyone wants to. I mean, everyone probably wants to help in some way, someone.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone has his own purposes. If you love horses and you want to save horses in life, then you probably should go for this. You should go for this. You should probably not, but you should go for this. If you love biking and you want to change the way people bike, then you should change. You should be the Elon Musk of the biking world, really. And for me, I want to have as many people as I can. I want to share actually a message.
Please, go ahead.
I challenge you guys for the, no matter what, actually it doesn't have to be a special day, but I tell you a story what I did. Actually something that I didn't tell anyone except a few friends that I met those days, and they asked me, what did you do? So it's the first time I said something like this because I usually don't feel that good by saying it, but let's go. So last Christmas and the Christmas before and the Christmas before, I came up with the idea and I told myself, we have Christmas, it's the day of the family, it's the day everyone gets together, smiling, love, and everything. For everyone? That's the question. Not for everyone. You see people sometimes outside. You think Christmas they're gonna go visit their family. That's not that easy sometimes for them. So what I did is, of course I was for Christmas at home. I finished really early, took all the cake and the food, picked up 1-2 friends, said, hey, get your clothes, what you don't need, get everything what you don't need. We drove with the car around the city, around ash everywhere, and we gave food and we spent time. We talked to the people that were on the streets to let them feel they're not alone.
Yeah.
I gave them my contact details. If anything is what I can do for you, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And this is what I did, and I love to do it. And I challenge you guys to do the same. At least something like this, similar. You don't have to wait that someone has to call you. You don't have to wait that someone has to give you a sign. Just do it. This is the sign. You should now take your calendar out, plan something for good for the world. Because imagine 7 billion people do in one day something good for the world. What can happen of the mass effect?
Yeah.
So not only you should do it, call your best friend, do it with them together. So yeah.
And I'd like to add to that, when you take that challenge up, post it somewhere, not out of ego and to say I did something good, but to pass on the energy.
Actually,
because there's goodness in the energy, right? There's energy in the goodness. And if you stop it by you, that's great. Don't ever doubt that it's going to have an impact anyway. But it's the snowball effect, right?
True.
It's not about arrogance or ego and, oh, look at me, I did this. It's about, guys, I can do it, you can too. And you'll inspire someone else to pass it on. And then it's 14 billion because it's 2 times. And then it's 21 billion because it's 3 times, right?
You are now my sign for that I should show it more. I do it regularly, not this kind of things, but regularly I try to give back to the community when I can. And I think I should share this more, you're right. Thank you.
It's a misconception we have growing up, and it's that childhood stuff.
It's
you know,
true.
if you say you did something good, it's boasting, it's ego. You know, and look at this guy; he's trying to tell everyone he's better than us.
Because they got me.
But they put you in a box because now you're like, I can't speak about my goodness because my goodness will be good to other people.
Thank you for liberating me. Thank you. This was more worth than any money. This kind of tip that you gave me right now, because I know it will actually add that much of richness that I can now give more to people.
People hear what you're doing, they inspire, right?
Yeah.
Nice. So share what you can, wherever you can. And we're forgetting about that ego. It's a long story about how we developed that. That's another topic.
Yes.
But
yes.
when we share what we've done, we create an energy, and that force is powerful, you know? So
that's a nice way how to see things.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm doing, even in that kind of sense? Is it exactly representing this? Do I want to give positive energy to our world? Yes, then I share it with people.
Otherwise, it's no point. You're shining a candle under the bed, right? And you're doing a good job because you're lighting up your area, but you want to be impactful. Guys, look what I did. This is what I'm standing for.
Yeah.
And people might not resonate with it. People won't resonate with everything in life. But you got to know this. If I say I can do this, and I tell people, I'm inspired before this conversation, right? And you haven't come to say to me, this is what I do and how I do it. I just see and I feel, and you can only grow if you show what you do, right?
True. This is true. So yeah.
So it's I don't know if this has been great. It's one of the best I've had so far. So I try and keep them not too long because we capture the people. One or two more questions. What would you say to your younger self?
I knew it. That's why I prepared by taking my notes. No, just kidding. No. To my younger self, well, I'm actually young. Still, I consider myself to be young.
You are.
Forever. But if I could go back when I was 9 years old and my father passed away, I would a lot during my life not blame on the fact that my father died. I used to use everything as a blame. No matter, it's because my mom has not that much money. It's because my father died. It's because whatever happened. I always use an excuse that I didn't pass my grades at school. I didn't pass. I didn't complete my mission, what I had to do, my job, or I didn't go where I wanted to go. And I always blamed this on something. This is definitely what I would say. Don't do this because you know what? This is why. You are responsible for your own things. You are responsible for what happens tomorrow. You're going to decide if you're going to go out or not.
Yes. And
if something happens, take responsibility, because if not, don't expect to be called a man.
Yes.
In my eyes.
Yes.
Just that what, I know my personality, that's what triggers me, which pushes me a lot through challenges and stuff like this. So this kind of conversation would hit me probably. And I would definitely say give even more back to the community.
Okay, great.
So those are two things that I would love to share to my younger self. And commit first more to business.
Okay.
Oh, good.
And probably maybe we'll make it the last one. What would you say to your future self?
Wow. I never heard that question. Never heard that question. What would I tell to my future self? To my future self, that's a great question. What I wouldn't say is, no matter how old you are and how weak you feel, remember how young you were, how much energy you had. You can do it. Continue. For sure. Like this is something what I would say I wouldn't say, and I would say. And what I would add on top of this is I would say, remember always what your values are, from where you came, what your mother did for you, what your father did for you, what your sister, what your brother did for you, the teachers, the people that inspired you. You can be that person every single day, everywhere. Don't forget this. There's everywhere people walking that would love to hear a compliment. So never stop with this. Because sometimes forget it in all the rush.
You do, don't you?
But it's something that if you can give a compliment, give a compliment. Give after this. If you should watch this video at the end, if it's not too boring, you should call someone that you think right away now, and tell that person how much you appreciate that this person is in your life. Do this, it creates such a magic, believe me. I did this many times. That's it.
Just fantastic though, isn't it? You feeling good?
Well, I feel really good, thank you.
Yeah.
It's you let me give my energy back, and it's phenomenal. Phenomenal. Thank you, man. How are you feeling?
I feel great. I could sit and listen to you all day. So I'm trying to interview you, so I can't give my input too much. I want you to speak and say who you are, because I believe there's some power growing here. So I just wanted you to have a platform just to express. And maybe in a month or two we do it again, just different energy. We have a to and fro.
I would love to. If there's another time, I would love to prepare something really small that, like these powerful things, you can ask your audience if they like it. For example, this idea of just going out and helping someone, or going out and challenge yourself by compliment 5 people today. It's your challenge of today. And stuff like this. I mean, I have many of the kind of things that I sometimes do, that I give to people, that I share with people, and I would love to share this to people that love to give good energy back. So this is definitely something for them.
We do that. We'll schedule another one, and we can have more constructive action rather than just sharing a story.
All right.
Yeah?
Perfect.
Okay. Matheus, been great to have you. Thanks for watching, and that's it.
Thank you.